Only 2 routes of the MyCiti Bus services have been suspended in Sea Point, while others in the Tableview area will operate using weekend schedules. The City of Cape Town's Urban Mobility and Transport Portfolio Committee says this is due to low commuter intake and increased fuel prices. Some commuters say they'll be stranded, but the city has promised this won't be the case. The Tableview Ratepayers Association wants the City of Cape Town to consider incorporating taxis in areas where commuters are forced to wait a bit longer for buses. eNCA's Nobesuthu Hejana reports.
The City of Cape Town says its decision to suspend some MyCiti Bus routes and limit services on others is mainly a supply and demand issue. 2 routes in Sea Point have been cut, but commuters won't be left stranded.
There's still uninterrupted service on 3 routes from the Atlantic Seaboard to the CBD, to Adley Street or Civic Centre. The Western Seaboard, there are absolutely 0 suspensions. There are, however, some amendments to the timing of the buses to be more or less in line with what commuters would expect on the weekend schedule.
Quintus says buses in the West Beach area will operate using weekend schedules. Services will also be allocated to vulnerable communities like Atlantis. He says increasing fuel prices may force commuters to pay a bit more for their fares.
We understand that the price of fuel has its own sort of shocks and stresses. So sometimes fuel is cheaper, the price comes down, sometimes it goes up. And we are in one of those cycles where it's most definitely going up. It may come down. So we always factor the gradual increases over time into our analyses of what the fares are going to be determined at.
The Tableview Ratepayers Association has some suggestions.
One understands the fuel increases. A lot of people are now possibly going to stop using their private vehicles and making use of public transport. I've got a suggestion that, in my mind, that I think we can go into a collaborative space with the taxi associations in the areas that are affected to pick up the people that need to get to the main feeder routes, and then possibly make it possible that the taxis stop at the main MyCiti bus stops to pick up and drop off.
Some commuters say they are not happy with the interruptions.
It's going to negatively impact me. I'm going to have to spend a lot more money than what I'm used to spending. It's going to cost me at least 2,500 to 3,000 rand instead of what I'm using now, 700 bucks at the moment, to get to work daily from here to town.
In the Orania Zecht area, buses will operate every 35 minutes, and commuters here say this will cause major inconvenience.
So the times are quite important. But my biggest problem is that you can't just buy a ticket on the bus. So you have to go somewhere to get a ticket, and that puts me off sometimes.
I think the idea of the system was great when it started, but it's not been publicised ever. You know, if you know where to get your ticket, that's fine. If you don't know where to get your ticket, you get on the bus and you're told that you need a ticket. And I think that they're the biggest challenges.
The city says ticket price increases will be tabled in council. The increases are expected to be implemented in November. Nobesuthu Hejana, Cape Town.